Okay, we're recording with the phone camera today, and because I was going to use a Canon RP, but the batteries are all dead. So let's use the phone. It's working. We have the DJI RC right here. We're going to go through the setup process. I just turned it on. It's the only thing I've done so far. So if you don't know to turn it on, you press the button twice, then hold it the second time until you see the lights come on. So here we are. Oh, we went past the language. The first screen you see is the language screen. So we're going to come up here to English. Actually defaults to Chinese first, which makes sense because, that's where they're made. So we're going to agree to the terms and conditions that we did not read. We're going to tell it what country we're in. Yes, we're in the United States. So hit next. And now I am going to have to connect it to a Wi-Fi. Now, I don't know if this would work with our secured encryption because our normal Wi-Fi has a license. So I'm going to use one that we created right here. I'm going to use this one, and excuse me while I enter that password. Okay, as long as I put the right password in, we should connect to the Wi-Fi. And boom, we got a check mark. Looks good. Let's hit the next. Okay, we got to change the time. We are definitely not in Beijing. Oh, wait, no, we got to go this way. Which way we got to go? No, we got to go this way. So we are -5 Eastern time. There we go. Next. Make sure time is set correctly. I'm looking at my clock. That is the correct time. It's what's on my watch. So hit confirm. And now log in. So this is for school. So I'm actually going to create a brand new account. So doing it from here didn't work. So I'm going to just do it. I registered on my computer. And now I'm going to log in here. E3RU. Activate this device on my account. Yes. Not now. Oh, look at that. Okay, left dial, adjust gimbal tilt. Oh, camera zoom on the right dial. Very cool. This is very nice. Okay. Optimal angle. Let's go to here. And I do have a battery in the bird. So, like for initializing resources data. And we're starting the app. And we're going to skip the video. Okay. Collect the following information to ensure normal use. Okay, blah, 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 blah. We'll say yes to everything. Still gonna say not now. I don't want to join anything. I love that they have the academy there. Okay, we got connection guide over here. Now I've used this before, so I'm pretty familiar with it. We're currently locating. We're inside, so it might not find any GPS towers, but I am going to turn on the drone, press and hold twice, and you can see, it's moving. And when that happens, you should see down here on the bottom right hand corner, once it has a connection, so we're waiting for it to connect up there. The camera's doing its little thing. Got green light, so we have connection. Wonderful. And it brings me, so on the app on your phone, it would say go fly down here, but now it just goes right into it. I got agree to activate the device. So now we're activating the bird itself to the account. And we're done. We're going to skip this for now. Confirm. And we have a firmware update, so let's do that. Always log on to your firmware updates. Okay, that definitely took a minute. Let's reconnect the camera, the bird now by turning it back on. And there we go. We are on. We see we got a camera here. Let's look at camera that's taking the video. There we go. We are inside, so we don't have any GPS lock. As you can see, there's no GPS. But it's always good to do your firmware updates before, usually the day before you want to shoot, so that way you know you're ready. And now this is ready to go. We're ready to put the SD card slot in. Here's, you go through all your settings are in here. So go back here on the top right, you got the 3 dots for your menu, and here we go, your safety stuff. I'm noticing one thing, all this stuff is in meters because, you know, the rest of the world does work in meters. However, we are in America, and most people that are going to use this do not know what that is. So let's go to about and see where we can check that. So we can now see, we can give it a custom name if we want. It has its own Wi-Fi. There's the app version. There's the firmware version, which we don't need to check for because we just updated it. Here's all your serial number stuff. Here's some info there. The camera control. Here we go. Under control, we want to do Imperial. So that way we now are using, when I go back to here, now we're at feet. So 328 feet. So 400 feet is your max altitude, legally speaking. But it's nice to know, this is where I can change this. I've never thought about doing this. I always get nervous at the return to home thing because it always goes as high as possible before coming back. So you can actually adjust that to a lower height if you want to. I get the idea is to go as high as possible to avoid obstacles, but it's, for some reason, it always just freaks me out. I usually just I just bring it back manually. But there we go, there's all the settings. So if you want to go in here and even think about it, here's your camera settings. So you can change your aspect ratio for your pictures. Here's auto flicker for anti-flicker for your video. You can turn your histogram on. I usually honestly leave it on auto a lot of times because you got enough to worry about when filming. To do stuff by manual is kind of hard. I do like turning red lines on. I just do that for everything. Frame guide. Let's do widescreen frame guide. This is very nice. White balance auto. There is no SD card in there, but we will format that when we put it in. And now look, we're in pro mode, so now we actually have control of all this stuff. You can go ahead and control your white balance, your shutter speed, and all that stuff if you want to take full control by toggling the pro on and off right there, which is a pretty nice feature. You also have an autofocus versus manual focus. We're keeping on autofocus. You can do zoom in and rotate, I guess, if you want to do TikTok style videos. There you go, it's got it built in here, which is pretty nice. If you haven't used one of these before, right here, this is your fly remain time and your battery life, how much of a connection you have to your remote control. That is your GPS connections, which you don't have right now. Down here you have your speed, so your miles per hour, and your height and your distance from your starting point. And then if you toggle on the map, you can actually see a little representation of where you are on the map when you have GPS lock, which we don't currently, so it's not showing that. You can also change where your focal point is there by clicking on it. By default, go back here, it was in photo mode, right? So now you have all your stuff for photos, but if I want to change my video stuff, I go in and click that, go to video, and now on the bottom here, I can click on my frame rate, and I can go through and I can change, I can put this to 4K, why wouldn't you? And then we have the option of 24, 25, or 30 frames per second in 4K. 2.7, I have options of 48, 50, and 60, and then 1080 is the same, but I like to do 4K. And of course, if you're shooting news stuff or TV stuff, I'm in 30. If I'm shooting for film, I'm in 24. And click off of that, and now we're ready to go shoot. If we were outside, of course, and had an SD card slot in there. But there you go, that's the setup process. It does take some time to do that first firmware upgrade, and it always takes time when you do it anyways. Anytime I'm going to shoot, I always do my firmware upgrades the day before to make sure everything's set, and it downloads all the new geotagging, locks everything, because you don't want to go on location and find out you can't shoot in a spot because you didn't update your maps. So there we go, we're all set. I'm going to shut them off and put them back in the bag. Actually, I'm going to register with FCC or the FAA, register with FAA, then put it back in the bag.